So, hi guys. I am a sushi chef for the last 14 to 15 years. I started out as a dishwasher. I was looking for a part-time job as I was going to college. I was about 18 at the time, and I had no future. But, God led me to a place where it was like in the middle of nowhere. Sushi place, and from there I branched out to somewhere else because that original place was closing down. And then through a friend I was hired on as a trainee, sort of like a sous chef, like a apprentice. So they trained me up for about a month or two, and then I worked there for about 8 months. And for some reason, my hours were getting cut. And one day my dad came to me and said, "Hey, what about opening up our own place? I know a good spot." And it's actually the place that we originally came to here in the high desert, which was Silver Lakes. And if you guys didn't know, I moved from Long Beach area, Torrance. Very nice area. So it was a big shock to come up here, and we came up here about 20 years ago, and it was a big change. And somehow we started a business in the first place that we came to, Silver Lakes, right? Then we started it out. He was able to borrow money and get the money that he needed to start it out with only $10,000, and that's not a lot, especially for a restaurant. Maybe for a barbershop, or even that costs a lot of money. Anything that you do for business costs a lot of money. You got to get stuff for for food. You got to get refrigerators. You got to get prep tables. Let alone the ingredients that you need. The space, the workers, sometimes. Of course, it was just our family. And when we started out, it was, very bare bones. Like, it's still pretty bare bones, but a lot better than what it used to be. So we started out, the first day we only made about $10 to $20, right? Our prices were very low, very reasonable, but it was a start. And at one point, about 2 months in, we were about to shut it down because of how much, conflict there was within the family. Nothing bad, but just, like we made a mistake and things like that. But we kept going, and eventually we got the attention of the community. It's not a very big community, but it's enough to support our business, and we're very thankful for that. So we started out 2 years in, and a lot of people knew about us. We were like the only sushi place. We had another place across the way that was doing sushi as well, but they were mainly like Chinese food and things like that, right? One time one of the days we made our popular rolls, and so the menu developed into what it is now, and it was a lot of fun. And so 14 years later, here we are. Business is good. Business is steady. We're almost to that point where, most of the days, all of the days actually that we open, 6 days a week, we only have me, my mom, and my dad. Before it was me, my mom, dad, sister, brother, but they weren't full-time like me, my mom, and my dad. And so, my dad, he didn't used to do sushi, but now he does, which is a big help. It gets very busy, and working in a small town like this, it's big enough to almost have a movie theater. It's not quite as big, okay? So kind of give you an idea of the type of community that we're in. And for the most part, people like sushi, but not everybody here does. So I guess you could say it's like maybe 75% of the community, if that. So if everybody came, then we would be very busy and we would need to start hiring people. But, you know, that's kind of the backstory of what it took to open up our place. And business is good, but there's a lot more that we could do. But I don't necessarily know if that's like, I don't think it's necessary for us to try to treat it like a franchise or try to treat it like something that it maybe shouldn't be. It's just a small hole in the wall type of place. Of course, we have a big dining hall in the back. It's pretty decent size. You know, when we get like 10 to 20 people, it's a good little spot in the back to have birthday parties, right? But yeah, that's the story in short about what it took to open up our restaurant and, you know, kind of my backstory. I'm not a professionally trained chef, but I do have a sense of picking things up, and somehow I ended up, you know, making sushi as my career or as my profession. And so, yeah, that's my story.